Hello and welcome to Brodual. This time we have Action Combat. This is a mod that aims to add more action-oriented combat features to Skyrim. It's also designed to work alongside nearly all other combat mods, but I'll get into that later on in the video. Generally speaking, it wants to make each attack you or NPCs make more valuable, and to do that it implements several features to make tactful combat decisions more rewarding. The features are also designed to complement each other, so as I explain them one by one, try not to judge them individually, but wait until the end and look at all of them together. All attacks now consume stamina. On top of that, your current stamina also acts as your energy level. So when you're low, you'll become tired and each attack will be slower and you'll deal less damage. This means you'll need to be more selective when striking, and it punishes you for just spamming your attacks over and over again. However, unlike some other mods, it doesn't stop you from attacking completely if you run out of stamina. So technically you can still spam your attacks, but just at a slower pace and with less damage. It's much smarter to just time your attacks and make sure each one hits. Another major feature of the mod is the introduction of weapon parrying. This is a solution to blocking while dual wielding, and it also adds more spontaneity to battle. The way it works is extremely simple. If two targets swing their weapons at the same time, then they'll bounce off each other, causing each person's attack to be cancelled. It comes with fitting sound effects and a recoil visual, so it looks quite good in both first and third person. Generally speaking, the parrying feature is much more useful and effective when another combat mod is used. In vanilla, NPCs' attacks are just way too random in comparison, and they don't make use of power attacks and other maneuvers where tactical parrying would actually be useful. Also, most other combat mods add timed blocking, which is a very similar feature but for shields, so having both together is a big plus for consistency. Another feature the mod implements is weapon weight. This makes it so weapons convey some sort of weight, making all successful attacks stagger the target. And the heavier the weapon, the more of a knockback effect it can apply, with daggers only causing a slight recoil, and warhammers causing them to stagger backwards. Power attacks will also cause a bigger recoil for all weapon types. This also works together well with a parrying system, because even though parrying with a dagger is easier because they swing faster, they'll also cause less of a recoil, meaning they'll be able to strike back much faster than if you were attacking with a bigger weapon. But if you can keep them constantly recoiled with a swift flurry of dagger attacks, then you can still win a fight against a heavy weapon user. So when you combine all of these features together, you get a system where each attack you make is more valuable, because it costs stamina and also because a successful strike will stagger the enemy. Every attack you miss or that gets blocked results in your attacks becoming slower and slower, which makes it easier for enemies to parry your attacks, which means even more wasted stamina and even slower attacks. So you'll have to maintain your stamina quite well, or invest in regen or stamina items depending on your playstyle. It also makes fighting multiple enemies much more difficult. 2 is probably fine and 3 is doable, but when you have a couple of melee enemies and then a few ranged ones in the distance, it becomes almost impossible. The constant incoming attacks will cancel your swings, effectively turning you into a living punching bag. Also with the changes, you're probably going to have to invest in some sort of melee defense, even if you're building into a mage or archer. If you're a mage, you might get away with a spell package mod that adds more melee spells, because they'll stagger with each hit. However, an archer is always going to need a sword or dagger ready. As I said earlier, the mod will work alongside nearly all other combat mods. The only major one that doesn't work with it is Deadly Combat, most likely because it implements very similar features. So if you like some of the features from Deadly Combat, like parrying or a stamina energy system, but prefer another mod like Ultimate Combat or Combat Evolved, then this is a great way to add them. It's also not compatible with Requiem, but it will work alongside Purgus Maximus. Sometimes there still might be conflicts in how each mod was designed to be used, but if there is, then you can just head to the mod menu and adjust each feature individually. So if you'd prefer attacks to consume less, more, or no stamina, then you can easily change it. Overall, the mod is actually quite simple on paper, but it does a lot to complement the other combat mods out there. The end result is a good mix between Skyrim's vanilla combat and something more action oriented like Dark Souls, but it doesn't go all out with it and stays within the boundaries of Skyrim's engine. It'll undoubtedly need testing over time, both by individual players and by the author to make sure any balancing issues are in order. If you're interested in trying it out for yourselves, then you can find everything you need down below, and as always be sure to leave an endorsement on any mod you enjoy, and thanks for watching.